The ocean, huge and dangerous, it stretches out endlessly, a vast expanse of water that holds countless secrets and untold stories. The waves crash with a ferocity that can be both mesmerizing and terrifying, a reminder of nature's raw power. The dark clouds gather ominously, casting shadows over the turbulent sea, creating an atmosphere of foreboding and mystery, a place of amazing beauty and scary power. The ocean at sunset is a sight to behold, with the sky painted in hues of orange and pink, reflecting off the water's surface. Yet, beneath this serene beauty, lies a force that can be deadly. The waves crash against the rocks with a relentless power, a reminder that the sea is not to be underestimated. I've seen how nature can trick us, leaving behind mysteries we can't solve. The fog rolls in, shrouding the sea in an eerie silence. It's as if the ocean is hiding something, keeping its secrets locked away. The dusk adds to the mystery, with the fading light casting long shadows over the water. It's in these moments that the sea feels alive, almost sentient, as if it knows more than it lets on. The story of the Mary Celeste is one of those mysteries. An old sailing ship, once a proud vessel, now a ghostly reminder of a time long past. It sailed on a calm sea, its sails billowing in the wind, a silhouette against the horizon. But what happened to it remains a puzzle. A story that has intrigued and baffled people for generations. A lost ship, a vanished crew. The Mary Celeste was found adrift in the middle of the ocean, its deck eerily empty. There was no sign of struggle, no indication of what had happened to the crew. It was as if they had simply vanished into thin air, leaving behind a ship that was otherwise in good condition. It's a story that has spooked sailors and landlubbers for over 100 years. December 4th, 1872. The date is etched in history, a day that marked the beginning of one of the greatest maritime mysteries. The Mary Celeste was discovered by the crew of the DEI Gracia, a British ship sailing the Atlantic. The sight of the ghostly ship in the stormy seas sent shivers down their spines. The DEI Gracia, a British ship, sailed the Atlantic. Her crew, seasoned sailors who had seen it all, were used to the monotonous expanse of the ocean. But on that fateful day, they saw something that would haunt them forever. A ship, drifting aimlessly with no sign of life on board. Her crew, used to the boring ocean, saw something strange. They spotted the Mary Celeste, a ship that should have been on its way to Genoa from New York. But instead, it was drifting, its sails up, but not moving. The sight was both puzzling and alarming, raising questions that would remain unanswered for years. A ship, drifting with no one on it. The Mary Celeste was a ghost ship, its crew nowhere to be found. The DEI Gracia's crew watched in disbelief as they approached the abandoned vessel. It was a scene straight out of a nightmare. A ship that seemed to be alive yet devoid of any human presence. It was the Mary Celeste, a ship sailing from New York to Genoa. The name was clearly visible on the hull, a stark reminder of the ship's intended journey, but something had gone terribly wrong. The ship was found in good condition, with its cargo intact, but its crew had vanished without a trace. But something was very wrong. The ship's condition was puzzling. There were no signs of a struggle, no damage that could explain the crew's disappearance. It was as if they had simply walked off the ship, leaving everything behind. The eerie emptiness of the deck added to the sense of unease. The DEI Gracia carefully went closer to the Mary Celeste. The crew approached with caution, their hearts pounding with a mix of fear and curiosity. They prepared to board the ghost ship, not knowing what they would find. The silence was deafening, the only sound being the creaking of the ship's timbers and the gentle lapping of the waves. Her sails were up, but she wasn't going anywhere. The Mary Celeste was a ship frozen in time, its sails billowing in the wind but its hull motionless. It was a haunting sight, a ship that seemed to be waiting for something, or someone, to bring it back to life. No one was on deck. The crew of the DEI Gracia found the deck deserted, with no sign of the Mary Celeste's crew. It was as if they had vanished into thin air, leaving behind a ship that was otherwise in perfect condition. The mystery deepened as they explored further. A group went to check it out, their hearts beating fast with worry and curiosity. They boarded the Mary Celeste, their minds racing with questions. What had happened to the crew? Why had they abandoned the ship? The answers, if there were any, were not immediately apparent. What they found would confuse people for years to come. The ship was in good condition, with no signs of a struggle or damage. The cargo was intact, and there was enough food and water for the journey. Yet, the crew was gone, leaving behind a mystery that would baffle experts and enthusiasts alike. The Mary Celeste was mostly okay. The ship was seaworthy with no major damage. It was as if the crew had simply walked away, leaving behind a perfectly good vessel. The condition of the ship only added to the mystery, making it even harder to understand what had happened. Her cargo of alcohol was untouched. The barrels of alcohol in the cargo hold were undisturbed, a sign that the ship had not been attacked by pirates. The cargo was valuable, yet it remained untouched, adding another layer of intrigue to the story. There was food and water. The ship was well stocked with provisions, enough to last the crew for the entire journey. There was no reason for them to abandon the ship, yet they were nowhere to be found. The mystery of the Mary Celeste continued to deepen, but the crew, 10 people, were gone. Vanished. The crew quarters were empty, the bunks neatly made. There was no sign of a struggle, no indication of what had happened to the 10 people who had been on board. It was as if they had simply disappeared, leaving behind a ship that was otherwise in perfect condition. It was like the ocean swallowed them whole. The vast, mysterious ocean had claimed another secret, adding to its long list of unsolved mysteries. The story of the Mary Celeste remains one of the greatest maritime enigmas, a tale that continues to captivate and intrigue to this day. The Mary Celeste had a history of bad luck even before her most famous voyage. This ship, originally named the Amazon, seemed to attract misfortune from the very beginning. First called the Amazon, she had lots of accidents. She collided with other ships, faced numerous storms, and even caught fire once. It was as if the ship was destined for trouble. Some said she was cursed, a ship with bad luck. Sailors whispered about her in hushed tones, believing she carried a dark omen. Despite this, she continued to sail, changing hands and names until she became the Mary Celeste. Her captain, Benjamin Briggs, was a good sailor, known for being skilled and religious. Captain Briggs was a man of strong faith and impeccable reputation. He had sailed many seas and was trusted by all who knew him. He was with his wife Sarah, their 2-year-old daughter Sophia, and 7 sailors. The crew was experienced, and the presence of his family showed his confidence in the voyage. The Mary Celeste left New York on November 7, 1872, with lots of alcohol. The cargo was denatured alcohol, intended for fortifying Italian wines. It was a routine trip, expected to be uneventful. She was going to Genoa, Italy. The journey across the Atlantic was supposed to be straightforward, but the sea is unpredictable. The trip started okay, but somewhere in the Atlantic, something went very wrong. The weather reports indicated some rough seas, but nothing that an experienced crew couldn't handle. When the group from the DEI Gracia boarded the Mary Celeste, they found something strange. The ship was eerily silent, with no sign of the crew anywhere. It was as if they had vanished into thin air. The ship's logbook didn't explain what happened to the crew. The entries were routine, detailing the ship's position and daily activities, with nothing out of the ordinary. The last note, from 10 days earlier, just talked about where they were. It mentioned their position near the Azores, but gave no hint of impending danger or trouble. The ship's lifeboat was missing, so the crew probably left the ship. But the question remained, why would they abandon a perfectly seaworthy vessel? But why? And where did they go? The ocean is vast and unforgiving, and without the lifeboat, the chances of survival were slim. The Mary Celeste was fine, her cargo was there, and there was lots of food and water. The mystery got bigger. Everything was in order, from the cargo to the crew's personal belongings. It was as if they had left in a hurry, but why? The unanswered questions only deepened the enigma of the Mary Celeste, a ship forever shrouded in mystery. The ocean can be a terrifying force of nature, capable of turning from calm to dangerous in the blink of an eye. Its vast, unpredictable expanse has always been a source of both wonder and fear for sailors and explorers throughout history. The power of the sea is unmatched, and its ability to change moods so quickly can catch even the most experienced mariners off guard. Could a massive storm have struck the Mary Celeste, causing chaos and knocking the crew overboard into the unforgiving waters? The idea of a sudden violent storm is plausible given the treacherous nature of the sea. However, upon closer inspection, the ship itself didn't appear to have sustained significant damage. The hull was intact, and there were no signs of a catastrophic event that would explain the complete disappearance of the crew. The sails were indeed torn, but not to the extent one would expect from a severe storm. The ropes were tangled, but they were still mostly in place, suggesting that whatever happened was sudden and unexpected but not necessarily violent. Rogue waves, those enormous walls of water that seem to come out of nowhere, have long been the stuff of sailor legends. These waves can reach heights of over 100 feet and have the power to engulf entire ships in an instant. Could a rogue wave have struck the Mary Celeste, sweeping the crew overboard and leaving the ship relatively unscathed? This theory, while frightening, is not entirely out of the realm of possibility. It was a chilling thought, but some maritime experts believed it was a plausible explanation. The ocean is full of mysteries, and rogue waves are one of its most unpredictable and dangerous phenomena. Another theory revolved around the cargo the Mary Celeste was carrying. The ship was transporting barrels of alcohol, which could be highly flammable under certain conditions. Could a leak or an explosion have caused a fire, prompting the crew to abandon ship in a hurry? The fear of an imminent explosion might have driven them to take drastic measures. But upon investigation, there was no evidence of a fire or explosion. The ship's deck was clean, and there were no burn marks or signs of a struggle. The barrels of alcohol were intact, and the cargo hold showed no signs of damage. This ruled out the possibility of a fire or explosion being the cause of the crew's disappearance. The mystery of the Mary Celeste only deepened as the ocean continued to hold its secrets close. The vast, enigmatic sea remained silent, keeping the fate of the ship's crew hidden beneath its waves. The story of the Mary Celeste is a haunting reminder of the ocean's power and the mysteries it holds. With no real answers, people started guessing. Scary stories went around about mutiny and madness. Had the crew, scared by something, attacked each other? Or had being alone at sea made them go crazy? Some said the missing lifeboat showed something bad happened. Had some of the crew killed Captain Briggs and his family before escaping? Or had pirates attacked the Mary Celeste, killed the crew, and taken everything valuable? These ideas, while scary, couldn't be ignored. Others talked about madness, about the crew all going crazy and jumping into the ocean. Maybe they imagined something scary, a sea monster or a ghost on the ship. Whatever it was, what they did seemed crazy.